meant to be. So I don't know if this will be a compressed version, but what it is really, it's just to, the wisdom of this time of the year. The 21st, as we know, solstice, winter solstice, is the darkest time of the year. It's when we have the most dark and the least light. And to do any practice with that in our mind, in our energy, when we practice at these potent times around these thresholds, like full moon, new moon, half moon, when we practice, we gather. It's like they're portals, and these pathways open up for us to plug in. Just like the way you plug into your Wi-Fi and you boost your laptops and devices. So it's a time for us to plug in and garner some of that energy and get to refresh our energy and to plug in and just nourish ourselves with the energy, because these thresholds, summer solstice, winter solstice, all these, not so much New Year, because that's not so astrological or cosmological, that's man-made almost, our New Year. But these other cyclical times that are astrological and cosmology is involved, the cosmos, they're like, it's like plugging in to get the best medicine, that's available at the right time. When you pick the herb and you ingest the herb at that right time, those biopic times when things are really potent in nature. So the universe is symbolism. Yoga is symbolism. Everything wise in life really is symbolism. The symbolism is that we take this time to amplify the energy that's available, because our yoga life and practice and lifestyle is it's a larger part of us. It's just the unseen world that we, unless you're getting more and more sensitive, which I'd imagine you are, to the unseen forces, you realize that's bigger than this muscle bone vessel, this beautiful vessel that we carry. And it's our soul energy that's in this massive energy field. Our body's in the soul, it's not the soul in the body. Your body's in the soul. So your soul energy, and it's about connecting to it and, trying to download the wisdom of the soul and to listen to the messages of the soul. The symbolism, back to the symbolism of the 21st of December, and even now it's the 24th, still happening. That energy is still, it's not just one moment. It's still around us. It's the darkest time of the year, and we kind of complain about the dark sometimes. Oh, it's getting dark and cold. But we need the dark. We need the dark, and nature needs the dark and the cold. As anyone who plants seeds and gardens, you know that your seeds and your bulbs need a cold snap to stimulate and get the growth going. And we are the same. We need the dark. We need the shadow. We need the dark of our lives, the low times, the sad times, the blues. We need that. And it seems like, we're being punished sometimes, but it's actually, there's a lot of medicine in the dark times. And as yogis, we want to awaken to knowing this medicine. Is the dark is very important, and if we don't have the dark, we don't recognize the light, we don't notice the light. We've got to have contrast. We live in the world of contrast, and the dark is, it's symbolizing our shadow side. So the parts of us that we want to push away, in yoga it's like, no, embrace it, bring it in. The dark parts of ourselves, which is anger, sadness, fear, guilt, rage, all the things we punish ourselves for experiencing. It's the human experience. And so yoga says, embrace it, bring it in, use it. use it as an ingredient to alchemize, to create gold, to turn those darker parts of ourselves. Don't run away from them. There's lessons, there's riches in that. It's, you know, become like a wizard of yoga. It's like, and your emotions, alchemize your emotions into a more evolved soul. Use that time, embrace it, allow it to be. Part of our life is anger, sadness, fear, guilt, loss, grief, all of that, all of that. And so when we're in the dark, and when nature's in the dark, and when this time of the year is happening, and you might look out into your garden and it looks like nothing's happening, and you mightn't even see the beauty of the bareness, which I find very beautiful. And you see the leaves popping off the trees, floating down here and there. We're kind of past that now in December, but the odd time you see that. And the symbolism is the tree just lets go. The tree just lets those leaves drop. It doesn't make a big drama about it. It just lets go. And it presents a stillness and bareness. But truthfully, underneath the tree, in the ground, there's so much life going, getting ready to prepare. But when you look, the perception is when you look at the tree out in, you know, the solstice time, it just looks like nothing's happening. And what's that symbolism mean for us? It means in our life, sometimes we look out and it's like nothing's happening. I gotta make something happen. No, you gotta just be in the bareness. Let go. Let the leaves of your, you know, past 2024, past year, past experiences drop. Just let them go. And don't make a big drama about it. Just know it's like you're shedding your skin. We have a lot of symbolism in yoga around the snake, the Kundalini snaky energy. The spine is rather snaky looking. The cobra, Bhujanasana. The snake is important because the snake teaches us about shedding. It sheds its skin and it goes through this writhing kind of movement, but it's not really freaking out. It's just going with its pattern of flow and twist and turn to shed the skin and come into that new skin. And we as humans do the same. We shed our skin. I mean, literally we shed this body. I'm not sure of the exact time. Is it every 9 months we've new cells? Something like that. Every 5 years our whole body is rebuilt itself. So it's just allowing for this ebb and flow, this shedding, and then this bursting into springtime energy and summer energy. Allowing for your liminal space, which is what we're in. We're in the liminal space, which is not much happening. Emptiness, spaciousness. Maybe not today, it's Christmas Eve, but it's a lot of shopping. But you know what I mean? I'm talking about the representation of winter and solstice and time. And just, you know, be in the liminal space. The liminal space is like the void. I don't know what I'm becoming. I don't know what the past year was all about. I don't know where I'm going in my work and my relationships and my path and my evolution and all these things we might, you know, contemplate. But to know that in the liminal space, all those seeds with that intention, and every breath, every conscious breath that you took is an intention, and it's coming forth into, you know, bursting into the new growth of the spring and such. And that you know that everything that you planted, every seed that you planted is going to sprout, and some may not. And that's because they weren't meant to. And they might sprout next year, the year after. That happened to me in my wildflower garden plans. Some of my seeds just didn't, stuff popped up and I was like, wow. And other things, I'm like, oh, where are they? Where are they? And they didn't. So it makes me excited about the potential of the new spring year coming in, because maybe those seeds I planted 2 or 3 years ago will pop up this year. Maybe they won't. So we have to treat our life like that, but we do need to keep gardening the garden of the heart, the bhakti heart. And if you are a true gardener, you know that your work, is, well, first of all, you have a lifetime friend. People come and go, relationships come and go, careers come and go, money comes and goes. But if you have a garden, it's a lifetime friend. It's not just a lifetime job, but it's an all-around year. It's all year round as well. Yes, you go, looks, if you're not a gardener, you might look out going, there's nothing going on, and why would you be bothered going into the garden? But a gardener knows work has to be done. Things need to be cleared, pruned, chopped back, and maybe moved even. And that we treat ourselves and our lives that way. The garden of the heart, you're a constant gardener of energy, of your evolution, of your soul. You use the body, the portal of the body, to express your soul. Full soul expression comes from the connection to the portal of the body. That's why we treat the body as sacred as we humanly can, and we practice balance with it. So, if you overdo it, which is normal, we're meant to feast. Part of some of these sacred celebrations is we feast, and then we fast. That's part of, a lot of religions is fasting and then feasting. But don't beat yourself up over it. It's enjoy the fruits and enjoy the riches and enjoy the luxury and the feasting. And then that you can start again and fast and, pull back, and maybe the new year comes in and you might just declutter the body, declutter your home. New energy kind of supports that. Declutter your cupboards, declutter your mind, and even your relationships. Some relationships, just like the leaves of the tree, they just drop away, and they're meant to, because they were for a season or a reason. That saying that goes, a season or reason, or a reason that things stick around. So all of this is what's going on right now. The wisdom of right now is embrace the dark. And the interesting thing is with the dark is that we know the sun is there. The sun hasn't dropped out of the sky. The sun has literally not gone anywhere. It's just doing its own thing, minding its own business. It's not actually turning super bright and then turning low. That's an illusion. It's always there. It's always there, shining, nourishing, brilliance, solar power, energy. It's always doing that. It's just that it gets hidden. Same with the moon. The moon literally doesn't go in half or come down to a sliver. That's perception. And we're the same. Sometimes, we think, I just, I'm not doing what I should be doing, and I'm not achieving, and I'm whatever the many, many, many narratives going off. I should be healthier, better, weller, more beautiful, more richer by now. That it's all happening. Your brilliance, your light is always there. It's always there. It's just it gets covered up sometimes, particularly with stress, worry, tension, wrong thinking, the vrittis in yoga we call it, wrong thinking, wrong perception, wrong, delusion, illusion. The vrittis, they talk about this, dreams, past, future, things that are not really real anymore. And so our solar energy gets covered up with that, and we feel like our light gets dimmed. But the truth is, even on the shortest day of the year, the brilliant sun is right there. It's right there in the sky. It just depends on the activity of the journey the planets are taking, that they're experiencing a little more light, a little less light, a little more heat, a little less cold. So just embrace the bareness, embrace the shorter. And this is a time, like, you know, in Celtic wisdom would be rest. Our very busy minds is always like, what's next? What's next? I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So it's the fine balance of being the constant gardener and rest. The garden also rests. The soil rests. The planets, the nature rests. So take the rest, which is just the quiet, the liminal space, as much as you can physically, mentally, and emotionally. And recharge yourself and allow that which needs to be dismantled to dismantle. You know, in yoga we talk a lot about posture, good posture. But there's also another posturing going on, and it's the posturing of our heart. That shape of our heart. It's how's your heart posturing in your daily life. It's your mind, your brain. How's your brain posturing? You might have to do a little brain adjustment to have it posture, so you become into more alignment with the heart, with the mind, with the physical body. All of that is the habitat of the soul. All of that is existing in the habitat of your soul. So with that, just going to do a